Hallo, wie stehen Talk briefly about leadership problems in Africa. Mbadiwa in 2020 reported that one of the major problems confronting the African continent is leadership. The authors opined that African leaders are responsible for the current poverty and underdevelopment in Africa. I'm not sure if many of our politicians will agree to that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a content. It is true that looking at Africa, we've been blessed too with good leaders. Leaders who fought for our freedom, especially from colonialism. We've got great leaders. Leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, Samora Machel, Nelson Mandela, Julius Nyerere, Alpha Konara, among others. These are leaders who have put their lives at risk for the people. The unfortunate record of today is that many of the great things these our early leaders have done appears to have been erased by our current leadership. Today, Africa is in deep leadership crisis. The story is the same from Senegal to Ethiopia, from Algeria to South Africa. Cases of rampant, unabated corruption, tendencies for tenure elongations, rigging of elections, or what do they call it in Nigeria now? Buying of elections. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of this is when you look at our continent, we are not what we are supposed to be. Gross underdevelopment, poverty, poor infrastructures, weak institutions, devalued natural currencies. I feel so sad yesterday when somebody told me that the exchange rate of the Ghana cedis to the dollar has gone beyond the 9 points. Problems of irresponsible borrowing and putting generations yet unborn into debt even before they come to this life. We've seen various leaders in Africa. They come in different shades. Military rulers, corrupt leaders, selfish leaders, confused leaders, visionless leaders, armed leaders, oppressive leaders, wicked leaders, just to mention a few. But, ladies and gentlemen, things cannot continue like this. There's a need for a change. Kalemba, Iwanzambi, and Albert Banza, writing in 2014, reported that most of the nations in the continent of Africa have been facing issues of dictatorship, persistent dictatorship, corruption, selfishness, tribalism, social injustice, neocolonialism. And they said, these are the challenges in Africa, calling for transformational leadership. The change that Africa needs is to have a new set of leaders. These new set of leaders will need to work with different values from those that have led us thus far. These leaders will need to work with another spirit that will motivate our future development. The leaders needed for the future advancement of Africa in various fields of development, they cannot but be transformational leaders. I want to believe that the graduates of today must have gone through the seminar on transformation that you organized some time ago. But still, permit me to address the issue of what really do we mean by transformational leaders. According to Burns, 1978, transformational leaders occur when one or more persons engage with others in such a way that the leaders and the followers raise one another to higher levels of motivation and morality, and results in a transforming effect on both the leaders and the followers. Krishna in 2001 reported that transformational leaders throw themselves into a dynamic relationship with the followers who will feel elevated by it and become more active themselves, thereby creating new cadres of leaders. These leaders look for potential motives in followers, and they seek to satisfy their higher needs and engage the full personality of the follower. So what I'm saying is this: transformational leaders build themselves in their followers and raise up leadership like themselves for the advancement of the community. They raise up leadership like themselves in their followers for the advancement of the community. Meaning that transformational leadership is a relationship of mutual stimulation and elevation that converts leaders, followers, into leaders, and convert leaders into moral agents. Probably you are still wondering who transformational leaders are. Bass, in 1985, defined a transformational leader as one who motivates followers to do more than they originally expected to do. I think I love that. They motivate followers to do more than they originally expected to do. Transformational leaders inspire, influence, stimulate, and motivate their followers to rise up to higher heights of outcomes and moralities. Transformational leaders, they are those who normally respect, observe principles of human dignity and worth. They observe the principles of human rights, good social values, and individual, and they promote socio-political transformation. Transformational leaders, They are leaders who understand their moral responsibility to commit themselves to the transformation and enhancement of the lives of the people under them. If you ask me, how will I explain what transformational leadership is? I would say transformational leadership is about making or influencing positive changes and addressing inequity. Those who are transformational leaders, they are visionaries. Visionaries who care about promoting a more equitable society and improving the lives of others. I will not just give you a definition of what transformational leaders are, but let you know that this world has seen some transformational leaders at work. Apart from God, Israel will not be a nation today, but for one transformational leader called David Ben-Gurion. Many of us know the story. He was the first prime minister of Israel who changed Israel from a desert to an economic and military giant. We need such a person in Africa. But Africa is not devoid of them. We see another transformational leader in Africa in the person of Nelson Mandela, who fought against apartheid in South Africa, for which he was imprisoned for many years. People thought that he will come out from prison and be bitter. But during his time as the leader of South Africa, Mandela successfully exploited the love of sports in South Africa to promote reconciliation efforts in that country. I know that many people here listening to me must have read the book From Third to First Country by Lee Kuan Yew. That was a great transformational leader. He led the transformation of Singapore, a very small country. I learned the size of Singapore is 640 square kilometers. And he led the transformation of Singapore from being a third world country to a first world country. The book is available all over. Under his leadership, the per capita GDP in 1959, when he became the prime minister, was $400. But by the time he was leaving office in 1990, it has moved from $400 to $12,200. That was a transformation leader. Time will not permit me to talk much about other transformation leaders in Africa, but I will not fail to mention Oprah Winfrey, the media mogul. Many of us know her story. Our youth of today, they know of Jeff Bezos, the Amazon CEO. We know of Peter Drucker, the entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know of a lady in Ethiopia. They call her name Bethlehem Tilano Alemo. She founded a job focused on making of footwears. Just using, that talent, he was able to mobilize poor people and move them from poverty to prosperity in Ethiopia. That's a transformation leader. On such an occasion as this, I know what will be coming in your mind will be what makes them to be transformational leaders. I saw something in them, the values with which they live, the values with which they operate. I noticed that I have just about 12 minutes to the 30 minutes that have been given. But I quickly mentioned that 4 important values distinguish these transformational leaders. 1 is passion. 2 is integrity. 3 is humility. And 4 is hope. I believe that these are the type of values that have been imbibed in the lives of the graduates of today. I also look at some of the characteristics, the way of life of these transformational leaders, and the following things distinguish them. Number 1 is curiosity. They always strive to find innovative solutions to long understood problems. Number 2 is communication ability. All these transformational leaders are effective communicators. I'm sure you will love to listen to them because they communicate solutions. When you are sad and you sit in the program of Oprah, I'm sure you just go there and smiling. That was what it was made up of. These transformational leaders are visionaries. They can look better into the future and see things that others do not see. I also see in the life of these transformational leaders what I call team-first attitude. It's not about themselves. It's about us in their words. They are simple. They take risk, but they know how to stand to the challenges of risk. Ladies and gentlemen, our country, Africa, needs transformation leaders. What are the areas in Africa where transformation leaders are needed? Maxwell, the same writer of the Leadership Bible, Maxwell, in 2017 observed that everything rises and falls on leadership. By this, I mean that more than anything else, the leadership of any group or organization will determine its success or failure. And I think at this time, we need to appreciate the rector for the leadership you've given to bring us to where we are. I will tell you, I'm seeing beyond here. I'm seeing beyond this space. In 2002, Greenleaf argued that the essence of leadership is to focus on the needs of others. Emotion. Africa needs transformation leaders in every aspect of our development, from health to commerce, from transportation to finance, from energy to education, from the university to the political parties. We need transformation leaders. But permit me, speak on one of the areas that is very germane to my heart: transformation leadership in African education. Transformation leadership in African education. If you ask me, the first group of people that are connected to higher education in the world, I would say they are Africans. Indeed, the first set of universities were established in Africa, not in Europe, not in America. But when you look at the story or the history of the modern day higher education in Africa, they are not connected to that our early beginning. Something came in between, to the extent that the history of modern day higher education in Africa cannot be broken away including University of Ghana. Our origin happened to be colonialism. Unfortunately, it has affected us. Hear what Mbigi said in 2004. He said, and I quote, "Modern African education has its root in colonialism, whose agenda was to exploit Africa, dehumanize its people and their culture, and destroy the positive self-image and self-confidence of the African people." According to him, that when the colonialists came, our communal spirit of solidarity changed to one of individualism or individualistic activities. When universities started emerging in modern times in Africa, the real objective is not to develop Africa. The objective was to get civil servants who will process documents for the transportation of our cocoa, cola nut from Africa, including our minerals to other continents. Those are the people for which universities were made at the beginning. The unfortunate story is that today, many universities in Africa are still using the curricula of those colonialists to train the graduates of modern day. Today, we are now shunning out graduates from our universities that are not useful to the market. The result is gross youth underemployment. Jobs are available, but our graduates don't possess, they lack the skills for the market. Here are the statistics. In Zimbabwe, it is estimated that 90% of the youths are jobless. South Africa, 52% youth unemployment. Nigeria, 33% youth unemployment. I don't have the figure for Ghana. And I believe that the Kenya ambassador will be thinking about his country. Ladies and gentlemen, to stop this trend, we need transformational leadership in our nations and at our institutional level. In our quest for transformational leaders, I have just about 4 minutes to go, but I will plead that you give me 5 more minutes beyond that. In our quest for transformational leaders in Africa, I wish to propose 3 stages that we can adopt. Strategy number 1, change the curricula and promote transformational leadership education. Transformational leadership education is crucial training for effective leaders. This type of education is the one that can help us to combat ignorance and provide the leaders needed power. I glanced through the curricula of the SALT Institute. I'm quite pleased that I can see the following: critical thinking, decision-making, policy-making, ethics, excellence, negotiation skills, human rights, creativity and innovations, conflict prevention and resolution, social change. These are the type of things that we need to teach in our university today. But one thing that is disappearing in our curricula, which we need to bring back, is the study of African history. Our leaders are so wicked. They don't want the future to know about the wickedness and the evil they've done. And in many countries of Africa, we've taken history out of our curricula. Amen. Let's bring back history. It will make our youth to be more knowledgeable of the contents of where we are coming from, so they can know where we should go tomorrow. So what I mean is that in this first strategy, simple, let us change that colonial curricula. Strategy number two, let us start to produce graduates with modern skills and competencies. It's not the paper that you carry that is important. What is important is what can you do? I was a vice chancellor of a University of Agriculture for 5 years in Nigeria. I met one of the graduates of my university one day, and I asked him, what do you have? He said, I have a degree in animal breeding and genetics. High sounding degree, animal breeding and genetics. And I said, what has the university empowered you to do? He cannot answer me. I think you need to go back to the university and collect your school fees. I was involved with a program called Tuning Africa some years ago. And we came out with some competencies, 18 competencies that graduates of Africa should possess, no matter the degree that you possess. What are these competencies? Conceptual thinking, analysis and synthesis, professionalism and ethical values, critical evaluation and self-awareness, ability to translate knowledge into practice, objective decision-making, capacity to use innovative and appropriate technologies. So if you are here today, you can't use the... I think you are as good as dead. Ability to communicate effectively. Ability to learn and unlearn, because some of us need to unlearn what they have taught us so that we can learn new things. Flexibility and ability to respond to situations of life. Creativity and innovative thinking. Leadership, management and teamwork skills. Interpersonal relationships. Ability for intercultural and international relationship. Ability to work in the confidence. Entrepreneurship skills. And so the list goes on. Probably it's an opportunity for our graduates today to ask themselves, what skills have I acquired in the course of this program? But I believe that you could see your school, SALT Institute, in the list that I read to you. Lastly, my leadership universities and promote the teaching of transformational leadership. As you know, I come from Nigeria. We have specialized university. I was the vice chancellor of a University of Agriculture. We have universities of technology. We also have specialized university for medicine. We have specialized university for education. It's high time we encourage the emergence of specialized universities with a focus on training and building the leaders who would bring about the desired transformation in our land. This, I believe, is the focus of SALT Institute. The graduates of today, they are the first fruits of this great vision. Let me conclude my speech by letting the graduates know that you are not for Ghana. Africa looks up to you to make a change in whatever space you may find yourself. I believe that the SALT Institute is just beginning. And very soon, we shall see product of this institute transforming our continent in education, in politics, in media, in entertainment, in social services, even in the academia. I pray that the vision of SALT Institute will never die. It will grow from greatness to greatness. Thank you for listening.
I asked for fruit juice for my boss. Now I'm confused. I'm not sure what to ask for Prof. You think what I would do? I think we each will have to take Prof out for lunch. Prof, thank you. Thank you for these words. And these are very thought-provoking words that you have shared with all of us. And I would not dare to attempt a summary of Prof's speech. I'm sure some of our students who are here would love that Prof will share this with them so they can develop it further into thesis that they can even publish, because this is worth studying. The things that Prof has thoroughly researched into in his experience of higher education for several years are things which he has poured his heart out and shared with us. We are most grateful, sir. God bless you. Let's appreciate Prof one more time. I will leave you for some 5 minutes of a musical interlude while you still chew upon some of the thoughts that Prof has shared with us. And then thereafter, we would welcome the representative of GIMPA's rector to confer degrees upon our worthy graduates. So if the technical team could just give us a short interlude, and then thereafter I'll come back and we'll go into the conferment of degrees. Thank you. I dare say, young men and women, or is there a very old one amongst us? So I've gone through some 15 months of intense and rigorous training, and at this juncture would be awarded relevant degrees into 2 major programs. The Board of Trustees of SALT Institute, the guests of honor, members of convocation, staff, students, graduating class. Sorry, I'm taking somebody's role. Forgive me. Okay, yeah, please stand. Thank you, yes. Chairman and members of the Board of Trustees, guest of honor, representative of the Rector of GIMPA, acting Rector of SALT Institute, members of convocation staff, distinguished invited guests, media, ladies and gentlemen. The persons who will be presented have fulfilled the graduation requirements of the Institute and have been found worthy, both in character and in learning, to be admitted to the various master's degree programs of the Institute. I therefore would call upon Dr. Maoli Kofi, the Academic Director of the Institute, to present the graduates for admission to the degree of Master of Arts in Leadership and Management and Master of Arts in International Relations and Diplomacy. Dr. Kofi, please.
Mr. Chairman, may I kindly ask the graduating students to please stand and remain standing. Mr. Chairman, I, Dr. Maoli Kofi, the Academic Director of the Institute, by the authority of the affiliation agreement between SALT and the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, present to you the person standing and those absent for sufficient cause and for whom I stand proxy, who have been found worthy both in character and in learning to be admitted to the Master of Arts in Leadership and Management, Master of Arts in International Relations and Diplomacy. Thank you.
Academic Director of SALT Institute, by the powers conferred on me by the Enabling Act of Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, and the affiliation agreement with SALT Institutes, I admit all those presented to the degrees due them. Aiko.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jamra. I think we are done. You can go home. God bless you. Please remain standing. We would invite you as we call you up. When you come, because of our setup here is, I think you would shake hands with those in front, and then at their tail end, you receive your scroll, and then you would come down. I think. So you just shake hands with those at the front seat. You pick up your scroll. Yes, Doc. Yes. Yes. Mom, be careful you don't push me down. Otherwise, I would ask you to go down. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think these are memorable moments. So give us a few minutes. We want to be sure that we get everything on tape so that they can show to their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren the very worthy things they have accomplished here. I would begin with Ernest, please work with the director. That's fine. Are you okay? All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, we Africans, we love photographs, so please indulge us. Thank you very much. And I hope they've taken some good photos of myself. Otherwise, they are in big trouble. We would begin with graduates from our Master of Arts in Leadership and Management. First on our list, and please, they've worked really hard. You appreciate them, you applaud them as they come. Mr. Herbert Abekwe. I will be grateful if you keep clapping. You can just shake hands with those up front. Please. Okay. So those up front, you could please stand. Prof, Your Excellency, Barrister Emeka, if you could please. Thank you. Thank you very much. The next is Stephanie Ajo Sejro. Let's appreciate Stephanie. Let's appreciate Stephanie. Next is Lukaya Folami. Let's appreciate Lukaya. Let's appreciate her. Next on the list is Rukiatu Najama Pobi. Congratulations. Congratulations. Last but not least, sorry, there are two more on the leadership and management. Aurelio Jolomba Pombo, all the way from Angola. Angola, let's appreciate him. Last but not least, for Master of Arts in Leadership and Management, Esther Boche. Let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her. Congratulations, Leadership and Management graduates. We will take those in international relations and diplomacy. First on the list is Christine Faraday. Let's appreciate her. Christine Faraday. The next is Belinda Moulton, who is not here today. And the next also is Jijo Abratonu, both of whom are not here. Belinda is on a trip to Liberia, so she's not in the country. Next on the list is Samuel Seidu Mahama. He's a very big young politician that I'm fully aware of. Coming from a rich history of politics in his family. Congratulations, Samuel. The next is Grace Arthur Mensah. Let's appreciate Grace Arthur Mensah. Next, Alfred Benjamin Taylor, who is not here. Bernard Koku Hlochi, who is in Belgium, and he's also not here. So last but not least will be all the way from Kenya, Catherine Chekurui Langat. Let's appreciate Catherine. Congratulations, Catherine. Congratulations. There was one young man who also took the program, happens to be Michael Ama. So you can appreciate him as well. Please, the guests on the high table, you can please take your seats. But graduates, please remain standing. You may, at this juncture, having received your credentials, turn your tassels from right now to left to prove to the whole world that you have fully been conferred with the degrees of Master of Arts in international relations and diplomacy, and also leadership and management. Please, let's appreciate them. They've worked so hard. They've worked so hard. They've worked so hard. Please, you may take your seats. God bless you. We would go into special awards at this juncture. Thank you very much. Present the graduates who have excelled for the award of prizes and have the honor to respectfully invite some of our very special dignitaries here to present these very special awards to some of our graduates. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So please, when I call you up, you would come up and you would be presented with your very special award. These are very well-deserving best performing students in the two programs. The first would be the best Master of Arts in Leadership and Management student for cohort 1. And this award will respectfully invite Dr. Gifty Oforiwa Jamra to present this award. And this award goes to Mr. Herbert Abekwe, who had a FGPA of 3.65. 3.65. Herbert, you're welcome. Congratulations. Congratulations. I hope the camera has got that. You have to show that to his wife, who is soon to come. Yes, Herbert, please, you have to be decorated with some medallions. Dr. Jamra, if you could please give him some medallion as well. Thank you. Can I have another usher support Nifa here? Fatima, please support her with these. Thank you. Let's appreciate him. Congratulations. 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 Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jamra. I would invite a very special mother to me, who happens also to have been Ghana's former ambassador to the EU, Ambassador Novishi Abedu, to present the next award. The next award would be presented to the best performing student in leadership and management for cohort 2, Esther Boche. Let's welcome Esther. Let's welcome Esther. Congratulations, Esther. Congratulations. Boko. She's waving at her godfather here, Professor Spencer Duncan. Let's appreciate Prof for all the good work he's done with Esther. Congratulations, Esther. Thank you, Ambassador Novishi. My attention has been drawn to a we've been blessed to have the latest professor in town, who happens also to be a great support to us in Salt Institute, is Professor Lord Mauko Yevuga, and he's seated somewhere out there. Prof, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Thank you. Prof was recently elevated to the position of professor by the Governing Council of our mental institution, GIMPA. Congratulations, Prof. Congratulations. The next award will go to and to present this award, I would invite His Excellency, Mr. Eliphas Barine, the Kenyan High Commissioner to Ghana, to present this very special award to the best performing international relations and diplomacy student for cohort 2, Ms. Catherine Langat, with a FGPA of 3.77. 3.77. From Kenya, yes. Yes. Being presented by the High Commissioner from Kenya himself. Congratulations, Catherine. Congratulations. Well done. Well done, Catherine. Well done. Well done. Well done. Thank you, sir. Well, you may have to put that in your bag because I would be inviting Catherine back again. But to present this special award to her, I would welcome our guest of honor, Professor Olushola Oyewole, to present the overall best student, the valedictory award to Miss Catherine Langat with FGPA of 3.77. Well done, Catherine. Well done. Well done. Well done. Congratulations. Congratulations. Catherine has worked so hard. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well, if you work hard, you deserve commendation, isn't it? And at Salt Institute, from some of the things you have heard, apart from the classroom work which we do, our students are also engaged in leadership enterprises, one of which is a very special mentorship program that we have in place where faculty members mentor students along the way, not just in academic work, but also in their public speaking skills and their various leadership and entrepreneurial development skills as well. One of our students, again, was quite outstanding in volunteering to be trained to be a moderator, first from our guest seminars, which we hold bi-weekly, and much later, even to our annual public lectures, which also are held 4 times in a year. In fact, she was co-moderator with Dr. Mauli Kofi when we hosted Dr. Adeshina of the African Development Bank last year. And to present this very special award of recognition for meritorious service for moderation of SALT Institute events, I welcome our chair of the board, Barrister Emeka Nwankpa, to present this award again to Miss Catherine Langat for her outstanding meritorious service of moderating the Institute's events. Well done, Catherine. Well done. Well done. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done. Thank you, Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, at the SALT Institute, we task our students with various out of the classroom experience, and one of which I spoke about was a guest seminar series. And our students have been very phenomenal in organizing these events. These events, we throw the organization of these events to students. So they are student-led. They engage the guest speakers. They also go ahead to moderate the event. They assign themselves to do introduction. So they learn how to speak in public. They do the closing remarks. So before you leave SALT Institute, you shouldn't be holding the microphone and you want to hide beneath the podium. This is one of the very key things we have done. And we want to appreciate our students for their participation in various guest seminar series. To present the first 3, I would welcome our coordinator for guest seminars, who also happens to be Ghana's former ambassador to Spain, Madam Ambassador Elizabeth Ejay, to present the first 3 awards. Thank you, Ambassador Ejay, for being here. The first will be Herbert Abekwe. Let's appreciate Herbert for all his role in the guest seminars, moderating sometimes and organizing the event. Herbert has led the team of student leaders who have been championing this event. Congratulations again, Herbert. Congratulations. The next is Stephanie Ajo Sejro. Let's welcome Stephanie for her outstanding role in participating in these Institute events. Congratulations, Stephanie. Stephanie proved to us that bankers can also go to school. Because with a very busy work at the bank, she managed to go through this program. Congratulations, Stephanie. The last one before I allow Ambassador J to take her seat will be Lukaya Folami. Let's appreciate Lukaya as she comes Well done to each of you. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Thank you, Ambassador J. Thank you very much. I would welcome one of our very senior members on the Board of Trustees, Ambassador Dr. Kojo Alabo, to present the next round of awards. Please, let's appreciate Ambassador. Ambassador happens to be Ghana's former ambassador to Russia, Ukraine, and all other surrounding countries within that region. So I'm sure you would understand he has better appreciation of what is happening currently in our world. If you want to know more, please come to SALT Institute. He will tell you more. The first we would invite to Na Jama Toby. Well done, well done. So be the gentleman you are. Eh? Well done. Let's appreciate her. The next will be Esther Boche. Let's welcome Esther. Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done. Wow, I see people are still wearing their medallions. That's beautiful, awesome. The next will be Christine Faraday. Let's welcome Christine. Let's welcome Christine. Well done, well done. Well done. Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you very much. I'll welcome Dr. Mauli Kofi to present the next round of awards. And in fact, I will be short of words to describe Dr. Kofi, because at SALT Institute, he wears different hats. And one of which you saw today as academic director in presenting our students to be graduated. But please, let's appreciate and welcome Dr. Kofi as he takes the next round of presentations. Indeed, I must mention also that when the institute began, Dr. Kofi did a very yeoman's job in taking over all the registry functions at SALT Institute before the likes of myself were privileged to come and learn and understudy him and to continue the good work. Let's appreciate Dr. Mauli Kofi for all his contribution to the SALT Institute. Those who didn't pass his course, forgive him. Okay. We'll welcome Samuel Seidu Mahama to receive the first award. Let's appreciate him. Samuel Seidu Mahama. Samuel Seidu Mahama. Congratulations. The next is a mentee of Dr. Kofi himself, mentoring her through a dissertation and also through her life whilst at SALT Institute, Grace Arthur Mensah. Let's welcome Grace. Let's welcome Grace. Well done. Last but not least, Catherine Langat. Let's welcome Catherine. I'll take 2 of her certificates home, don't worry. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kofi. We are grateful. Let me welcome one of our very senior lecturers here at the SALT Institute, Professor Spencer Duncan, to present the last round of awards, the very last. One of the courses Professor Spencer teaches, which I've been yearning to learn myself, is emotional intelligence. Let me welcome Aurelio Jolomba Pombo to receive a very special award from Professor Spencer Duncan. The others who are not here, we will just skip that. So this will be the very last one. Congratulations, Aurelio. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. We are grateful. I would need some help, I think, at the next juncture for us without the awards to move this. Thank you, Dr. Kofi. You see the thing I was talking about? We don't just teach the servant leadership, but we demonstrate it. See, my boss comes up to move the pulpit for me. This doesn't happen in many places. Thank you very much, Dr. Kofi. Ladies and gentlemen, we would at this juncture welcome our valedictorian to read to us her address, her valedictory address. Please, with a round of applause, let's welcome Ms. Catherine Langat to read the valedictory address. Thank you.
Thank you, Registrar. Good morning. It is such a blessing and an honor to be here. And actually for me, it's the first time in Ghana and the first time in West Africa, so it's such a blessing. But I feel at home. I will briefly read my valedictory address. In January every year, most people come up with New Year resolutions. For me, January 2021 was not just another year to come up with a handful of resolutions, but after prayerfully having a deep conversation with my mentor, I was ready to take up my third degree, Master's in International Relations and Diplomacy, in not just any other university, but at the SALT Institute. This in itself was a leap of great faith, since I'm a plant breeder by training, oriented and skilled in agriculture, and had limited knowledge about international relations. However, the zeal and the enthusiasm to be a diplomat one beautiful day of my life motivated me to undertake this journey. Before even knowing the meaning of the abbreviation SALT, in respect of this institute, I was convicted in my spirit that this was where, as a child of God, I would express the saltness that we have been called upon to be, in accordance with Matthew chapter 5, verses 13, that we are the salt of the earth. Here is where my journey of being the salt of my corner of the globe began. 15 months of being mentored and trained by not only the finest of faculty you could find in international relations and diplomacy, but even more importantly, the foundation of instruction was based on God's end-time kingdom agenda. The lecturers are the only knowledge in theories of international relations, international and governmental organizations, foreign policy and diplomacy in African countries, international economic relations, international law, diplomatic protocol and etiquette, administration of foreign policy, American foreign policy, among other subjects, but also help in shaping and developing the potential of my colleague students and I to enable us to step out and courageously take up the mandate of transformational leadership, which our continent desperately needs. And we've had even today morning, by the keynote speaker addressing that. The understanding that the whole creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed or to manifest their God-given potential, quoting from Romans 8:19, constituted one of the key underpinnings of the instruction at the SALT Institute. Not only were we academically sharpened, but divinely molded as well, and indeed, positively and vigorously challenged through the class lectures, as well as the biweekly guest seminar series that I was, in all humility, privileged to moderate. Both the class lectures and the guest seminar series were from esteemed sons and daughters of our African soil, and every session was both extremely enlightening and very insightful. At this juncture, allow me to deeply express my appreciation to the SALT Institute management for being quick to spot skills and talents among students and diligently nurturing them and creating opportunities for them to flourish. It is in the light of the foregoing that I wish to express my deep appreciation to the management for considering me to take on this moderator role. Frankly speaking, their faith in me gave me the morale to take on this moderator role, gave me the morale to take on that task with the confidence that only the Holy Spirit could have instilled in me, as I am not trained in public speaking. That notwithstanding, I believe that I adequately delivered on this moderation role by His grace and the unwavering support I received from the whole SALT Institute family. And now I look at Dr. Mawuli Kofi to confirm that I did a good job. He's nodding. Thank you. Furthermore, and once again humbled, I have been privileged to co-host the SALT Institute quarterly public lectures alongside the very seasoned and unmatched Dr. Mauli Kofi. Permit me to comment on the first one that I co-hosted in August of 2021, which left an indelible print in the hearts and minds of all. Our distinguished president of the African Development Bank Group, Dr. Adeshina, who was the keynote speaker on the topic Integrity, Leadership, and Stewardship for National Transformation in Africa, made some solid and enduring observations, some of which have been highlighted by the speakers before me. For those who are not present at this event, to endeavor to watch the event live streamed on the SALT Institute Ghana YouTube page, in view of the fact that what was made then is as relevant now as when we had the public lecture, and I believe is going to be relevant in the next decade or two, or maybe even 10. The following words Dr. Adeshina spoke are still etched in my mind. Quote, one of Africa's critical needs today is for new leaders with new ideas to help create a new Africa, a transformed Africa, unquote. Thanks to the thorough and excellent training at the SALT Institute, I stand to be counted as part of that new generation of highly skilled, competent, and visionary leaders with character to match. Leaders who have what it takes to steer the ship of organizations, institutions, and nations, especially in such uncertain and challenging times as we've witnessed around the globe in the last couple of years. Key points also highlighted by Dr. Adeshina. The need of such leaders has never been greater. Leaders who are focused, effective, and accountable. And that is what you become once you go through training at the SALT Institute. I am optimistic that with the solidified foundation laid in the past year and a half, in addition to the commissioning today and the prayers of our fathers and mothers in faith, my student colleagues graduating today and I are stepping out to not only be the change that we want to see, but also the change that is desperately needed in our continent. May God sincerely help us. On behalf of my colleague graduates, I wish to express our deepest appreciation to Almighty God for this unique opportunity that has resulted in the transformation of our lives. Secondly, we wish to express our appreciation to the board led by our very able chairman, management and administration of the Institute, with a special mention of the acting rector. Thirdly, our appreciation goes to the highly skilled lecturers of local and international renown, some of which are here today, with rich practitioner experience, high pedigrees, and above all, the grace to orchestrate a paradigm shift in our worldview, resulting in a transformational experience. A special mention goes to the IT manager of the eCampus, the librarian, the office manager, without whom we could not have successfully gone through the program, which, by the way, was fully virtual. Permit me, as the valedictorian, to register my profound gratitude to God and to declare that a huge part of what I am today and what I'm becoming, I owe to God through the outstanding teaching that I have received here at the SALT Institute, Ghana. My special appreciation goes to my thesis supervisor, Ambassador Dr. Kojo Alabo, for his dedication and diligence in guiding me towards academic excellence. Thank you, sir. And to my dear mentor, Ambassador Novishi Aibedu, for allowing the Lord to use her to make all this happen. She not only sparked my curiosity in international relations and diplomacy, but constantly inspired me along the journey. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, SALT Institute Transformational Leaders, for allowing us to stand on your great giant, I may say, shoulders. Last but not least, how could I have gone through such an intensive program and combined it with work without the support of my family who are watching from Kenya, and particularly my dear children? God bless them for their love, patience, and understanding. May God abundantly bless the SALT family and cause it to advance from glory to glory. I thank you all for your kind attention. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, our valedictorian. How do you respond when you say Asante Sana? It's okay. You teach me after. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce to us a very few special dignitaries that we have amongst us, after which we'll go into a very short but important aspect of today's ceremony, which is the outdooring of our global brand ambassador. I would begin from the high table. Some of to the podium and you've heard them speak, but permit me quickly to go through the list. At the extreme right here, we have His Excellency, Mr. Eliphas Barine, Kenya's High Commissioner to Ghana. Thank you for honoring our invitation, sir. Thank you very much. We also have our guest of honor who has delivered a powerful thesis to us today, Professor Olushola Oyewole, Secretary General of Association of African Universities. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And also my own lecturer and acting dean of the School of Public Service and Governance at GIMPA, Dr. Gifty Oforiwa Jamra. Thank you, Doc, for coming. Our father in the Lord, he's our everything, Barrister Emeka Enwankpa, who is chair of our board. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. My boss, who I dare not speak evil of, otherwise I will go hungry for a whole month. A very special mother to me, Dr. Fatima Alabo. Please appreciate this woman for her leadership in driving this institute within all these tough COVID years to this point. Thank you very much, Dr. Fatima. We're glad to have you with us. The extreme right here, our guest of honor came with our mother, Mrs. Bola Oyewole. Let's appreciate Mom for coming. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. Ambassador Dr. Kojo Alabo. I need not say more. You can tell from the resounding applause from our graduates, his role and impact within the SALT Institute. Welcome, sir. Professor Spencer Duncan, very senior lecturer and professor with us at the SALT Institute. And of course, none else but Dr. Mauli Kofi. Let's appreciate Dr. Kofi, who came with his wife. Thank you for coming, Mrs. Kofi. Madam Jessie Bannerman Wood. Aha. Let me move so you see her well. Madam Jessie, the cameraman wanted to see your face fully so that your students will also see their face behind the zeros. At a point, I had to call her. I said, Madam Jessie, I beg you, the zeros are enough. And you cannot go through Madam Jessie's class without learning how to write. She's a very efficient academic writing lecturer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The very people who were angry with her are applauding her today. Ambassador Elizabeth J. Let's appreciate Ambassador. Let's appreciate Ambassador. Seated next to you. You see the ambassadors, they like sitting together. So the next is Ambassador. They wanted to capture you on the camera. So just a second, then. Wow, wow, wow. God bless you, Ambassador. God bless you. God bless you. Member of our board of trustees and also a very senior lecturer who teaches diplomatic protocol and etiquette. Ambassador Novishi Abedu. Let's appreciate Ambassador. God bless you. As for SALT Institute, if you want to become ambassador, you enroll here. Pastor Dr. James Obeng, who is a member of our board of trustees. Let's appreciate Pastor Obeng. Let's appreciate him. God bless you. I have a friend for many years. We schooled at Achimota School together. When I came in, I saw him. When I sat here, then I made a connection. I said, So I never knew that Kweku Obeng's father was my own father, Pastor Dr. James Obeng. He came with his family. Let's appreciate the family as well. Thank you for coming. And the person whom Dr. Kofi will be talking to us a bit more further about, but I'll introduce him briefly, is Professor Enoch Opoku-Enchi, who is a professor of servant leadership at Viterbo University in the USA. Professor Enchi, so glad to have you with us. So glad to have you with us. There are a few very special people in here. I'll quickly run through a few names and take my seat. The Director of Academic Affairs at GIMPA, Mrs. Gloria Po, my number one boss. Please, let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her. And also, this gentleman has quickly become a good friend and help to me, Seth Ochum, who is an assistant registrar at GIMPA. Thank you for coming. We have with us Pastor Jacob Lawson, who is also resident pastor at the Salt House Chapel. We meet right here on Sundays. He came with his wife and family. God bless you. I'm told that we also have Dr. Na with us. Dr. Na, is Dr. Na here with us, please? Doc, you are welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. And Doc came with some very special guests. You are all welcome. And I've introduced also already Professor Lord Mauko Yevuga, our external examiner at SALT Institute, who had to review all your dissertations, and he did a fantastic job for us. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prof. A friend and a brother at the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. I know he would not be happy with me for doing this, but nonetheless, we have to do so. Mr. Harry Opoku is also here. Thank you very much. And to all of you, our very special guests, God bless you for honoring our invitation. I'll quickly welcome Dr. Mauli Kofi, who will just take us through the outdooring of our global brand ambassador. Let's welcome Dr. Kofi, please.
As a young institute with a strong focus to raise transformational leaders, SALT Institute seeks to strengthen its stakes in the global tertiary education market. Management of the institute has taken several initiatives to grow the SALT Institute brand globally. One of such initiatives is the recent appointment of Professor Enoch Opoku Anchi as the global brand ambassador. Let me share with you the brief profile of our brand ambassador, Professor Anchi. He is a leadership and management professor at Vitello University, La Crosse, Western USA. He designs and teaches leadership courses, including meaningful, ethical, and practical servant leadership and mission, vision, and virtues in organizations. He's a leadership and management consultant and a civic educationist. He has a 22-year progressive academic and career experience spanning from media practitioner, international community development consulting, research fellow, manager in the corporate world, among others, to a present traditional university professor. He is the author of 5 books, including Leadership is Concept Heavy, A Case Against Fragmented Theories in Evolutionary and Contemporary Leadership, Counting the Count in Business Consulting, Ideation of Top 40 Business Consultants, Political Party Followership and Political Leadership in Africa, Hands-on Teaching and Evidence-Based Learning in Africa, Servant Leaders, the greatest among us from research to practice. This is why. Let me share with you a summary of our brand ambassador's role at SALT Institute. 1, to promote the Institute and its services generally in all befitting ways at all befitting venues. 2, to appear in promotional materials and videos for the institution. 3, to engage with the institution's social media platforms, including but not limited to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And 4, to engage with diasporans and other global players in relevant sectors, industries, businesses, churches, and organizations, with a view to promote the institute and attract support for its work. The next is for him to propose or recommend academic or corporate collaborations or benefit to the institute. And lastly, to participate in public or private lectures seminars, short courses, and events on behalf of the Institute. To cement our partnership, we have signed an MOU to guide the Institute's relationship with this astute professor and highly accomplished son of the land. As a symbol of such partnership, the Institute hereby invites Professor Anchi to receive a special award on his appointment as Global Brand Ambassador for Leadership and Diplomacy. Prof, if you may step forward. I will invite Dr. Alabo to make the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Salk Institute Global Brand Ambassador for Leadership and Diplomacy, Professor Anchi. It's now my pleasure to invite Professor Anchi to share a few comments before taking his seat. Prof, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir. Chair of the Board of Trustees, Rector of this great institution, Dr. Fatima Alabo, my good friend, His Excellency, Dr. Joe Alabo, all the important dignitaries here, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you, students, for this wonderful achievement. Education has been part of every solution, and I know that you go and change your world. I also want to thank the family for that great support, because without your support, there's no way these students could have ended this way. Now, I've been told to say some few words, so I will say them, and it's going to be very few. She asked me to put my portfolio down, and I had to do that quickly. I want to talk about the burden of leadership. The burden of leadership and what we bring to the table. In America, a couple of things we do. We do not throw money into problems. We throw ideas into problems. So anytime we meet, it's all about what the next big idea. Because the shirt that you're wearing, the house, the car, and everything was all the ideas first. So we look for ideas, not money. Unfortunately, in Africa, we look for money first, thinking that money solves all problems, but it doesn't work that way. Well, Jeff Thompson said that leadership is your character in action. So I expect you to exhibit great character wherever you find yourself. And John McCain, one of my good friends who died a couple of years ago, he was a senator at Arizona. Professor talked about a couple of times. I went to Indiana Wesleyan University for my doctorate, and John Maxwell family stays there. So our administration block is named after the Maxwell family. John Maxwell said that it is lonely at the top as a leader. Every information that comes to you is filtered. That is why we have bad leaders in Africa who don't hear or experience what the ordinary citizens are going through, because information given to them are filtered. So what's your standard as a leader? I've traveled over this country for the past 3 months that I spent my summer here. And apart from the main roles, all the other roles are terrible. And then they would tell me that, and yeah, it's better now because it used to be worse. So the question I ask is, so this is your standard for your leaders. This is okay for you? It doesn't work like that in Europe, in America. Every leader knows the expectations of what their followers want. Make sure that your leaders have the highest standard for your roads, for your schools, for your hospitals. And as leaders, that is going to be your task. We all know that we live in a world of flux, and it's all about complexities and diversities and a whole lot of things going on. In America now, if you are sending your signature at the end of every letter, it should be followed by she, her, hers, or he, him, his. That is the pronoun that should follow, because we have the LGBT plus community that insists that you have to address them. So you have a gentleman standing up and saying that I am John and I'm gay, and address me as she or her. So the word is going to be more complicated for you as leaders, and you should be able to handle that. The Greek word for passion is suffering. So if you've watched The Passion of Christ, that movie, Christ suffered. So as a leader, you are going to suffer for leadership. As I do, I travel over the world and I suffer for leadership. Going to be the global ambassador for this great institution, I'm going to suffer for it, but I know that we can make it. Let your life speak. I will give you this story from Joseph on Genesis 50, 24 to 26. Now, we all know the story about how Joseph's brothers sold him. Recently, I was in Egypt, and I went to Goshen, where Joseph settled his brothers. That is the best place. The best place that you have for your brothers. If you look at Goshen, it's like Trasacco in Accra. So Joseph settled his brothers there. And then, according to Genesis 50, 24 to 26, when Joseph was 110 years, was about to die, he called his brothers and said, I am about to die. But when Papa Jacob was dying, he left all of you to my care. So this is what I'm going to do. God promised our grandfather, Abraham and Isaac. And then Papa told me that there's a promise that I should keep. But I'm going to die. So this is my bond with you. I'm going to use my bones as an insurance. My bones as an insurance. Unless God fulfill the promise that he gave to Father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, do not bury me. Do not bury me. So for 400 years, Joseph's bones were carried by his brothers in the desert until they settled my current place, Israel. He used his bones as insurance. That is a leadership. You suffer. You have to suffer. Robert Greenleaf is the father of servant leadership. And when I wrote my free book on servant leadership, I had a call that, have you talked to the SALT Institute from Ernest, who belongs to a platform of African professors of economics that are also there. We're thinking about ECO, One Currency for ECOWAS and all that. And I said, what is the SALT Institute? He said, well, they also deal with servant leadership. So since you are a servant leadership expert, in America, we are the only institution with masters in servant leadership in the entire world. And we are only 3 professors, myself, Tom Thibodeau, and Ricard. So I reached out to the SALT Institute, and His Excellency Dr. Labo and I became friends. I came to launch the book here. I gave the SALT Institute copies. And currently, I have the Hand Publishing in America asking me to write a book, a textbook for the entire state, which is Vision, Mission, and Virtues of Organization. So it's all about values that he talked about. Values. Values. Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, they never had money, right? But we still mention their names. What did they leave to us? Values. Confucius, values. Prophet Muhammad, values. He said that in Islam, that even when 2 people are walking, there should be a leader. Islam says that. So watch your values. Now, I'm going to end very soon because I was asked to speak some words. Servant leaders have empathy. So ask yourself, do you have empathy? Do you put yourself in other people's shoes? Servant leaders are aware of the situation. Do you think our leaders are aware of the bad roads, the expensiveness of Kenke, and all that they go by, and what people are going through? Because what we go through, our leaders don't go through that. Yes. Recently, I was driving, and you know, these guys patched the road, and then they asked for money. So I stopped to give them money, but behind me, there was a minister with some motorcade, and then the guy ran away. And I stopped in the middle. I said, no, this is the guy you have to take money from, not me, because that is his job to fix the road, not me. So our leaders don't go through what we do. I have many friends who are MPs, members of parliament. They give them groceries every 2 weeks. Does anybody do groceries for you? Yes. Fuel, coupons. So what the ordinary citizen go through, our leaders don't go through. But don't forget that a leader is just a servant. You are nobody but a servant. You serve first, and then you become a leader second. You employ them. Why do you hail them? Why do you glorify them? You employ them. So maybe our expectations are low as followers. But I can tell you that 80% of leadership is followership. Why are we sitting down for just the 20% to control everything while the 80% languish in poverty? Just like having two chairs. One person is sitting comfortably on one, and then out of 10, 9 are also struggling to sit on one chair. It's not fair. So let's see what we can do for ourselves. Servant leaders build community. They also have foresight, concept. Of course, technical skills are very important. Critical thinking skills. They are stewards of themselves, with their neighbors, with God, and then the environment. And then they go through healing. My last story are 2. First, healing. I went to Sakumono to buy something. And a big show. The lady saw me and said, "You don't need anything. Don't buy anything." And I said, "You got to be kidding me. I'm here to buy something." She said, "Looking at you, I think you have everything. Don't waste your money." And I sat down and I said, "Talk to me about who you are." And she said she was robbed by armed robbers a month ago at a store. She came one morning and everything was gone. TV, everything in the store was gone. And then all her friends decided to give her some things. "Oh, I can give you some clothes. I can give you some shoes to fill the emptiness so that you can sell something." And she said, "No, I'm going to heal in the emptiness." So for 2 weeks, she will go and sit in the empty store and pray. And guess what? When I visited her yesterday, she's got everything back. That is how God works. So as a leader, you can also grow in the emptiness. The last story is about trust. Trust. There's one secret that I have. If your leaders learn how to say no before you say yes, you always have your credibility. No before yes. If you say yes first, and then it turns to be no, nobody will ever trust you. But if you say no, and it turns out to be yes, everybody will trust you. Currently, we are having a problem with our credit rating. And one funny thing is that I've never been mentored by people who look like me or talk like me. All my life, I've worked with white people, and I've stayed among white people. And all my friends are white. So I know white people very much than black people. And sometimes the way we think, I don't understand. I don't, because the fake ones are more popular than the honest ones. I just don't understand. So talking about trust, Ghana's credit rating is now from what? B to C by S&P and Fitch. Ask yourself, CCC+. Now, ask yourself, where is credit rating coming from? America. How come that we sit in Africa and Americans rate our credit worthiness? Do you know what credit means in America? Credit means trust. So if you go for credit card, or if you want to use your credit to buy a house or a car, we look at your credit score from 250 to 850. If your credit score is between 750 to 850, you will pay an interest rate of about 2%, 3%, because your high credit score means that you are trustworthy with money. We can give you more money. If it's low, it means that your interest rate is going to be jacked up. Let's say 26% or 30%, because we cannot trust you with money. And our rating tells everything. We cannot be trusted with money. Where does the money go? Ask yourself, where does the money go? So this is where you suffer as a leader. When do you come in and fix the problem? I believe in you, and I know that this institution has given you values. Go and change your world. Thank you.
Each time I've engaged with Professor Entry, he always has some thought-provoking words to share. And Prof, we are very grateful for accepting this appointment as our global brand ambassador of leadership and diplomacy. We should be ending this ceremony in the next few minutes. Permit me to take you through a few announcements, after which I would welcome the acting dean of the School of Public Service and Governance of GIMPA to dissolve this congregation. A few announcements. To our graduates, you can pick up clearance forms from the reception and complete them, and then after which your certificates can be given to you today. So you can pick up your certificates after the ceremony, but you have to go through clearance first. And that would also come along with the official transcript and copies of your dissertations. Let me announce that this whole ceremony would end tomorrow in a Thanksgiving and commissioning service, which will be held right here from 9 in the morning till 12 noon. We'll be glad to have you join us in service. We would have our chair of the board, Barrister Emeka Nwankpa, minister, and also to commission our graduates into a life full of impact and worthiness as they go out into the world to demonstrate the leadership skills that they have acquired. So we invite all of you to join us. It will also stream virtually on all the Institute's platforms. At Salt Institute, we run a trimester system. So we have 3 admissions each year, in January, in May, and then in August, September. So admissions is ongoing to our 2 master's degree programs in leadership and management, international relations, and diplomacy. If you are interested and you have a good bachelor's degree from a recognized university with minimum qualification of 2nd class lower, you're eligible to apply for admission. The program runs virtually, in person, and then a hybrid. So you can make a selection of which of the options are suitable. Our fees are very moderate, very flexible payment terms as well. You heard Professor Inchi speak shortly. Coming up next week, Saturday, will be our 4th annual public lecture, and Professor Inchi will be our keynote speaker for that lecture. And there would also be Dr. Intabisa Moleko, a senior lecturer from Stellenbosch University in South Africa, who will also be a discussant at this very important subject of the title for the public lecture is Quo Vadis Africa? Where is Africa headed to after 6 decades of aid failure? After 6 decades of aid failure, right after independence, we've been borrowing, living on grant. Where is Africa headed to after 6 decades of aid failure? This will be a virtual lecture, so you are free to join us. If you go to our website, www.saltinstituteghana.org, you will find registration details there. It's a free workshop, it's a free lecture. Please join us. It's at 2 p.m. GMT, next week, Saturday, the 20th of August, 2002. Please do well to join this interesting discussion. Salt Institute had launched an educational foundation seeking to raise support to support this great task of raising transformational leaders across the continent. It is our hope that after we have strengthened our stakes in Ghana, Salt Institute can stretch our tentacles to other African countries, including Angola, Kenya, the DRC, and other places. And we require your support. If you are interested in supporting the Salt Institute, we have with us even some commitment forms. If you desire to have any, the ushers will be glad to give you one. We would entreat you to please complete them and support us, not just in prayer, but also support us to do this to complete this important task of training and raising transformational leaders for Africa. Let me provide a few details about how refreshments would go after the ceremony. When our guests, our very special guests, have test, graduates and their families can use anywhere within the campus that you desire if you have your own refreshment, but there's some refreshment that the Institute will provide also for you, and maximum of 3 guests per graduate. So those who perhaps came with bus loads of invitees, I'm sure you take them to Papaya thereafter. When we are done also, we will take a few official photographs. I'm sure the technical team would advise us accordingly as to where we can take those photographs as well. Mr. Chairman, It is my singular honor to invite the representative of GIMPA, Dr. Gifty Ofriwa, to dissolve the maiden congregation of the SALT Institute for the admission to various master's degrees and award of prizes of the Institute. Let's welcome Dr. Jamra, please.
Thank you very much. Before I proceed with my mandate, I'm tempted to say this comment. I observed, even at GIMPA with our graduation, most of our best performing students who had all the awards were female. Yes, and it just happened that we also have female students, receiving all these awards. Catherine, congratulations. And I have to congratulate GIMPA and the SALT Institute. I think one of the best ways of also developing leadership is also bringing out the best in those who are perceived to be weak, to be marginalized, and those who are discriminated. So if now we are bringing up our females are achieving all the outstanding awards, then I think we really need to congratulate ourselves. Yes. Yes. And on this note, I also congratulate all of you with all the varied awards. It shows you did not just receive the theoretical aspect of your studies, but have already started demonstrating the practical aspect of it. And with all the speeches here, we know that you're even going to do better. Chairman and members of the Board of Trustees of SALT Institute, the guests of honor, your excellencies, members of convocation, staff, the class of 2022 graduate students, the distinguished guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen. I wish on behalf of the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, and SALT Institute to express my deep appreciation to you for honoring the invitation of the Institute to attend the very first congregation. I wish you all traveling mercies to your respective destinations. I now have the pleasure to declare the first congregation of the SALT Institute duly resolved. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jamra. And for your information, Dr. Jamra taught me gender studies. So you can understand where the comment came from. So thank you. Thank you very much for the commendation given to us. I would welcome Ambassador Dr. Kojo Alabo while we all rise for him to give us the closing prayer, after which we will recess.
So shall we all just bow our heads as we thank our Father in heaven for what He has done for us. Father, thank you for having accepted our petition to bless the congregation and lead us through the motions, through all the activities that we have undertaken here. And thank you for the way things have gone very successfully. And now we can say that we have, as an institute, our first graduates, our first fruits, those who are going into the world to demonstrate what SALT Institute stands for. Lord, we pray for them. We pray, Heavenly Father, that you use them to brighten every corner that they find themselves, that they will exhibit those values that they learned over here, and they will make the difference that will count in every place, in every community, in every nation, indeed the continent, or every marketplace where that they will find themselves. We thank you, Heavenly Father, that you who have empowered them through they are receiving knowledge and instruction over here, you will accompany them, you will place them, you will find the right place that you are prepared for them so that they will excel in it for others to come to understand your manifold wisdom in bringing them here, in training them, and letting them out into the world.
We thank you, Heavenly Father, for the great personalities that you have brought around to execute these tasks. They've all acquitted themselves very well. We thank you for visiting family, friends that have come with the graduates. And thank you, Heavenly Father, for each and every person. Thank you for what you have enabled them to accomplish. Even as we look to tomorrow when we have the Thanksgiving service, we ask you, Heavenly Father, that you will not only take everyone home safely without any accident whatsoever, but tomorrow you will help them to come back over here and thank you, remembering the encounter that the 12 lepers had with Jesus, that all of them that were healed, only one came back to thank him. And Jesus obviously taught us a lesson. And we, the SALT Institute family, will not be the 9, but will be the one that came back to say thank you. Thank you. Akpena olo Ochumi. Gracia. Asante sana. Shukran. They'll come to tell you gracia. They'll come to tell you obrigado, Senor. You come and tell you spasiba. They all come in their numbers again. Even those who were not able to make it today, they will come massively because the time to thank you is now. Because you are now, it's a set time for you to show favor to our continent. And we, as your emissary, would not cease to say thank you. Thank you, Lord. Even in Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen.
So we would not be seated, we would just be recessing. So some of us could use this way, the others could use that as we get down. So please, let's remain standing. Can we have a musical interlude while we do the reception? And the ushers still have the pledge forms, as I mentioned. Please, if you want one, they will gladly give to you. We'll be glad to receive your support. After the reception, you please remain seated. We'll advise you accordingly about photographs, and also the refreshments will be brought. Thank you very much.